Hello, guys. Welcome to Management of Change. This is indeed a very exciting course. A lot of things we can exchange with each other and improve our learning, our understanding of this exciting area. Change, and as there are many sayings about change, and you guys know those things. Uh, they say change is permanent, change is constant. Uh, if you don't change with time, then you will perish. Those type of things, and you have to update yourself, and especially in the context of uh, what is happening around the world right now, COVID-19. As there are companies which are going down, there are many companies which are increasing their profits also, because they were able to change their uh, the things maybe which they were producing, the services, the products, uh, looking at the current time and so on. So even before we start talking about about change change, maybe can you guys give me some input? uh, for example, why do you think it is that change is hard? Because generally speaking, maybe not you guys, but generally speaking, people say that change is very hard. It is hard, they find it hard to change themselves. What do you think? What can be some of the reasons that change is change is hard? Anyone want to say something on that?
Fear of the unknown.
Very good, precise, to the point. Rani made a good observation that fear of the unknown. Yeah, that is, it is, it is many times it is one of the indicators that you don't know what is going to happen. So you kind of, and generally speaking, we like to know what is going to happen as much as possible. We like to know that, because if we know, what happens when we know we have we have a little bit of chance to prepare ourselves for that situation. Not necessarily that we will prepare ourselves, that is another another area, but at least if we know, we our nerves are a little bit in our control. We think that okay, maybe we can manage the situation a little bit better. But if we don't know, then of course, that anxiety which you can feel, what would happen next. uh, Again, you can link it with COVID-19. What is it all about? There are many things, but one of the things, as Rennie has mentioned very nicely, is that fear of the unknown. We really don't know what, who catches it. Is it young people? Is it old people? Is it, because all different type of people are catching it. Some people are not taking a lot of precautions, but they are okay. Other people are taking a lot of cautions, but they are not okay. So fear of unknown. What would we do if we get that disease? What is the medicine? There is no medicine. How we will cure? All those type of things. So that is just one example. But anything in life, uh, you should elaborate that thing in your mind, and maybe ask yourself that when you are given some opportunity to change in life, general life, your own personal private experience, or at work, in wherever, what was stopping you to change? That is another way to put this question. So again, I'm opening the floor for you guys, like, what stops you to change? It is, I think it is important to understand that, because if we understand that, we have a better opportunity to manage the change in a little better way. So one thing is fear on unknown. Yeah, so what else?
Comfort. You're comfortable with your current situation, so you don't want to change it.
Beautiful, beautiful point again. Comfort, comfort. You are like status quo, that is why, developing, think about developing countries, or the countries which face some challenges, countries like us, like Jamaica. Like, why is it too hard to change. Yeah, the current political party, they came on this slogan that we are going to change the system and so on. But are they able to create that change which they promised? Uh, Maybe not. But we need to be mindful of that. That change is not easy. Change is hard, very hard, because of these reasons: fear of unknown, becoming comfortable, complacence. Think about various departments in government. The people who are now used to take bribe, commission, anything of that sort, and now they are used to it. They have increased their expenses to meet, and I'm not talking about Jamaica, I'm talking about developing world, uh, across third world type of countries, across the world. Even in the middle level, they have their challenges. Even the top ones like US, the corruption is also there. uh, China, Japan, corruption is also there. But what happens? It is not on a very low level. It is on very high level. Yeah? So it is not very obvious to people, because maybe they pay better salaries to people. Maybe cost of living is a little bit better in those countries. In our country, Jamaica, maybe what is the minimum wage? Yeah, think about that. And what is the cost of living? People who have minimum wage, if they go get involved in some type of bad practices, corruption, stealing from office, whatever, and selling it, whatever they are doing, now they are comfortable in that. How you are going to change that? So it is very easy to complain and criticize the governments, and I'm not supporting any color, JLP or PNB. I'm just trying to say that no matter which government comes, it is just very difficult. It is just like that. Once your GPA drops, uh, can can you bring it back? Yeah, can, maybe, but what it will take like really not easy. It's the same way when the financial situation or these type of things, when they fall down on the country level. Some countries can do that. I'm not saying that no country can do that. They can, but it is just very difficult. A lot of sacrifice needs to be made. For example, we had this slogan, "Buy Jamaica." Yeah, buy Jamaica, buy Jamaican products, support our own entrepreneurs, products, services, small businesses, all of that. Yeah. So where is that? When you go to a shop as a consumer, do you want best value of your money, like to satisfy your taste buds, whatever drink you are going to buy or snacks you are going to buy, or you are looking at, oh, let me just buy Jamaican product because I want to support it, and even if it does not taste the best, some people will do that. I'm not saying, but it is just hard. This is how a very good point so far. So number one was a fear of unknown. That is one major thing. So if you want to bring change, then think about the importance of communication, because you want to communicate clearly, in a direct way, in a nice way, whatever. Yeah, yeah. So that type of thing. So you can reflect on the conversation which I had with our friend who was asking me about the weekend. Just reflect on it. Yes, reflect on it. Think about it. It is linked with what I'm trying to bring across. Yeah. So you would want to bring that fear of unknown, unknown down. Once people become comfortable with something and they say, all right, this is my space, I like to do the things like this. Just imagine how hard it would be. You would really have to convince them that, well, this new way of doing the thing is is better. And during the course, we will try to identify some of the techniques which can help in do that. But I'm just going to repeat, because I think it is important that please keep this in mind, that change is hard. I'm not trying to discourage anyone that change is not going to happen, and though this is just that we don't jump into something that, oh, we are going to make it. No, don't want to go with false reality. And this is change is hard. But that does not mean that we should not aspire to change, to improve, to bring betterment. When we say change is hard, what it does is that when we go in the change process, first of all, because we know it is hard, so we are maybe going to prepare a little bit more. And then when we are going to get some setbacks, uh, we already knew that it is going to be hard, so we are mentally, we have that mindset which is going to help us to maybe deal with that. But then different people are going to respond very differently. It has to do a lot with the with personality. Think about, things happen, people suicide, take their own life. uh, uh, Run a Google search, how many people suicide in the year, globally speaking. Yeah, how many people do that? You will be surprised. I'm forgetting the number, so I just read it recently, but I'm forgetting it. Right? Run a Google search. So big number which gets which attempts which is successful in taking their lives. And whatever that number is, please multiply that with 4 or 5 or 6 very easily, because you will find the statistics on people who did suicide. But what about those who attempted and did were not successful? Yeah, so think about that. So many times it has to do with the inability to manage the change, manage the change. I was listening to this guy who was giving some tips on anger, on anger management. Yeah, very interesting talk. And in that he explained that uh, when someone becomes angry, uh, many reasons of course, but one of the main reason is that that person was not able to manage that change in situation. Yeah, there's situation, are comfortable with that status quo, as our friend just gave this pointer. So now when you disrupt that change, that person gets angry. Now reflect on the last time when you got angry. What, ask yourself, what was the reason? And be a little bit reflective on this, and you will find out that in one way or another you are not able to manage that change. Yeah, whatever the other person said, that provoked you in some sense, or you said something to someone and they got angry. They were not able to, they did not had the capability and capacity to address the situation. That why they became angry. So inability to manage the change can do these type of things to people. And if a lot of people are attempting on life in these current times because of COVID-19, different types of pressures, job pressures, even they say stay at home and bond with family, and all those type of things, spend time together. I was reading some, not really reading, these things just came up. Someone sent it, if I want to look at these things. uh, but I was not really interested, to be honest. But anyways, I can share that with you. I scanned through the documents, and they were saying that even people who uh, like the couples and these type of people, they the lives are, the studies were coming from European countries. So life is busy. Man works, his girl works, everyone is working 24/7 type of thing. So people do it in Jamaica also. Yeah, so that is across the world, but this study was about them. So now they have to stay home, and they 24/7 home, and they are together. So this can also, not can, this was causing some type of troubles and communication trouble, and problems. And many people were saying we are not going to live together, some physical fights, all different types of things. Not because that they are not comfortable with each other, it is just too many things coming up. Job, maybe job loss, then the girl also lost her job. Then if there is a child, their problems. School is saying different things. School is saying that you have to pay, but there is no school, something like that. This is also happening. Crazy things. Yeah. So reflect on these type of things. Anyways, give me more pointers. So you gave 2 pointers: fear of unknown, uh, getting comfortable, status quo, becoming complacent. What are the other things which makes change hard? We want to understand them, so when we are going to manage change, we can look up for those things that at least cover those things. Any other pointers which are coming to your mind?
Affordability, probably you want to change, but you can't afford to change.
Ah, Alicia, beautiful point. Can you give some example? I think some example is in your mind from which you thought this. So it would be very nice, Alicia, if you can share that example. I can personally relate with this. Very interesting.
Okay, sir. Now, even using COVID as example, for some persons, they would want to come out of the hotel sector, but because they can't afford to come out of that sector at this
Ah,
point. They can't afford to improve on their educational level, and so it's like they're just captured in a box where they can't move because they can't afford.
so it's also painful, but that is how it is. I hope we maybe cannot relate 100% with what Alicia is saying, but empathy is something which makes us distinguished from robots and artificial intelligence, the ability to empathize. So think about this, that she gave very good example, and it's very like relevant for us in Jamaica, because we are and maybe we will be in the future much dependent on hospitality sector. So maybe some people want to come out of it, but they cannot. They are kind of stuck. Affordability is one thing, yeah. So the pricing of even education, although we say that education has become very easy. Look at this online environment, everything, but still you have to pay. But on the other hand, there are some courses which you can do free also. But the world, globally speaking, has not reached to that level where the education can be free on the higher level. I'm talking about in some countries, basic education, they look into that. So this is very interesting point. Alicia mentioned that even when people would want to change, they won't be comfortable with their position. They won't have fear of the unknown. They are willing to go in the unknown, but they cannot afford. They don't have the means. And she mentioned financial position, but affordability is quite wide. uh, they don't maybe have that time. Maybe they have in the age group where they are not, maybe so many things. Yeah, very interesting. What else? Give me some pointers. Why change is hard? Reflect in your life when you wanted to change someone,
Well,
or
a
someone
reason
else
change
wanted
can
to
be
change.
hard is
Why you are not able to, why you are not successful. Reflect on this and tell us why change is hard. What is your, and you don't have to consult the book. We have our life experiences. Reflect on your life and share with this. Yes, please go ahead.
okay.
So,
One of the reasons
sir,
why I believe change can be hard is that you are not sure that you'll be able to handle the change. Your fear of the new is as in, all right, they have a new computer system coming onto the company that you'll be required to learn. You fear that you'll not be able to manage it as well as the system that you're currently accustomed to. So it's fear of adaptation, really.
Ah, beautiful point. Thanks for that. Yes, so that confidence maybe which is required, and she is giving example of these new type of systems which keep on coming at our work, and whatever we are doing, we need to get accustomed to that. So that confidence is not there. Not because that we can't do it. We don't have the mental capacity to do that. It is just that whenever you will start something new, change is new. So whenever you will start something new, it is just the nature of being it new, that you are not really really sure. Think about the first time when you sat on the driving seat of the car, to learn it. That you did not know anything about it. You have seen it, but you did not have the practical experience. So you are looking everything. You are looking where the key goes. You are looking where the gear goes, where the brake is, where the clutch is. You are looking like side mirrors, everything. You are looking at maybe even the tire pressure. You also looked under the bonnet. You did whatever you wanted to do, like you are. And even after that, you are very careful, and but look at now. If you have been driving for a while, you are not even thinking. You are not even thinking where to drive. You just automatically, you just after work, you just automatically start going to your home. You are not even thinking which direction I on a regular day. You are not thinking. You are maybe thinking about other things, and automatically you will just go on the route on which you have been going throughout. This has happened to you, that you always pick one route. Like this has happened a couple of times, at least 3 4 times over the years. So I can share that with you. From home, I have a particular route, particular roads which I take to come to UV. So couple of times, I when I was at home, I said, okay, before I go to UV, I need to go to Ligny Lane pharmacy to have a little drink or something. Yeah. So, and by drink, I mean Pepsi or Coke. Those of you who don't know me. Yeah. So, but when I was driving, yeah, automatically I turned on the same route which I always take. Yeah. So I did not change my course, although I thought about it. But because after driving, I was thinking about other things, like what is the day going to be like, what I'm going to do. But why that happened? Because that was my comfortness. I was comfortable. The habit, the my tendency was to keep on doing the the same thing again and again. So it would be very deliberate. I had to. So I don't know if this has with you, but just sharing what happened with me a couple of times. So confidence, that so when you are going to, so if this is the case which our friend has explained us, new technology, new software is going to come, and then you're not really sure if you will be able to catch it or not. Then when you as a manager or whatever, you are bringing new software, anything new, it is not just specific to technology or software or computer systems. Anything new and staff is there, you need to take them on board, spend some time on that. Now this might sound very simple, and it would make sense also that we should take people on board and stuff like that, but many times you will see that in the practicality of the things, in the reality of work, companies don't do that. Not that they don't want to do that, it is just that there are so many things on job which you need to accomplish, that this thing becomes a little low priority. The work day is so busy of these people. So they say, all right, they will learn on their own. They will catch up and stuff like that. So many times companies, especially the busy managers, they make these type of mistakes, where workflow is very busy, and those, and then if staff don't learn, they don't take the ownership of the mistake, because they say that why staff was not able to take initiative and do the stuff. But that now is directly linked with your human resource management, because when you are hiring, were you looking for this thing, that people which I'm going to hire, they should have this tendency to take the initiative, and take the initiative and learn on their own, and that type of, if you, many companies don't look at that, especially if it is not a requirement which is like every week it is going to happen, or every month it is going to happen. So those are the very big challenge. Any other point, why change is, why do you think change is hard? Let us take one more point. So what do you think, when people are unable
Sir,
to
you
change? uh,
hearing me?
Please
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
a reason for rejecting change could probably be that you don't trust the process or the people implementing that change.
Very good. This is Palmer. Thanks for that. This is my favorite topic, the issue of trust. Yeah, I'm very high on this. Trust. Yeah, no, because I was listening to this video, and the guy says, when you lose trust, nothing else matters. That line somehow is stuck in my head, and please reflect on that. Someone can be very rich, someone can be very good looking, influential, very educated, very technical savvy, experienced, all those type of things. But if you don't trust them, you just don't trust them. It does not really matter what, especially in the long run. If it is kind of like one night or something like that, then it is different. But if it is a long term game, you really have to trust. So very good point, Palmer. You don't trust the process, because when you are, this is very deep if you reflect on this, because in the he's talking about processes, procedures, the people involved. Maybe you want to change, you want to improve, but especially in the change context, you might make mistakes. Not might, you are going to make mistakes, because it is something new. You are starting something new. It is new for you. Why you would not make mistakes? This is the first time. When we were learning A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we were making mistakes. But if someone asks you to teach a child to remember A, B, C, D, and if he says after C, J comes, we might give him a lap or something. Well, maybe I should not say that. I don't know what you think about beating when someone is not studying. I used to get a lot of beating, so that is why I'm saying that beat the child or something like that. So we get angry, we are not able to manage that thing, that why the child cannot learn this simple thing. Yes, it is simple for us, but for that child it is not simple. So same way you need to view this, that something can be very simple for you, very simple, and you ask someone, yeah, do this, you say this, don't say this, or you do this, don't do this, and for you in your mind you think that this is very simple, nothing hard in that, should be able to do that. But that other person, for that person it can be extremely hard, because that is the way that person has been doing the thing, and you are asking them to change that, no matter how small it is. It does not matter how small it is. Yeah, it does not matter. It is just that they are comfortable, as our friend was saying, that comfortable. So unless they don't really desire that, they want to really change, and then they should be given all the support, all the encouragement, and then they will go back to their past behavior, and then you nicely tell them that, okay, now you need to come back. Over a period of time, maybe change will happen. That is why just run a Google search, how many change initiatives fail in the world. I can recall that in IT, as our friend spoke of IT, computer systems, IT project management, it is more than 70%. More than 70% of IT projects fail around the world. And think how much dependent we are in today's world on IT. Yeah, these type of things. 70% of the, so don't we think that those people know these things? Do we think that they don't know and we know? Nothing like that. They know, and they maybe know more than what you know and more than what I know. Yeah, knowing is something else, doing is totally different. That is why they say that nothing beats experience. Yeah, so you need to think about those things. These are so that all of these things make this topic more and more complicated. But again, let me repeat it for the third time, and I will try not to say it again, that the idea of having this conversation in the early on, that what I'm trying to say is that it is not that change is not possible. I'm not trying to say it is impossible. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to change yourself, or I want to change myself, we are talking about ourselves. Forget about changing other people, and forget about changing the country and changing the organizational department. And these are good dreams. You should aspire. I personally aspire to change so many things where I work. I really do. Uh, but when I fail, I don't get too much dejected. Yeah, because I understand that this is a hard call, so it will take a lot, and then the chances of success are slim. My job is just to try hard. It is just like the bigger the ambition, the higher the chance that you fail. Yeah, the bigger the ambition, the bigger your goal is, the higher the chance that you will fail. This applies in change management. Yeah, so if you want to become prime minister of of Jamaica, yeah, that is a big goal. If you have that goal, or you want to become CEO of NCP or Scotia, something like that, big goal, whatever is big for you. Yeah, what are the chances of success? Yeah, I'm not saying you cannot. Of course you can. I'm seeing a couple of people who I know from earlier courses. They are very smart. They have the ambition and all those type of things, and they are clever and everything. They have experience also. But think about that. So because the goal is big. But on the other hand, if the goal is that if a smaller goal, the chances of success. So bringing change, let alone in other people, only bringing change in yourself is quite a big challenge. In small things, reflect on this. Try to put this in this is theoretical, more theoretical. Put it into practice. Yeah. So when you are going to drive next time, yeah, next time when you drive, if you are used to driving with the right hand, next time when you drive, you are going to totally drive with your left hand, with the same speed, with the same way of driving which you have been doing with the right hand. But don't do that. You might get into accident. I'm just trying to make some connection with this. So if you are used to race the car with your right hand, try to do it with your left hand. So both are yours. Both hands are yours. Both feet are yours. But it is just difficult. Why it is difficult? Because it is change. It is new. But over a period of time, if you continue doing that, then the chances is that you become more comfortable. So see, you have to give a lot of time to this. So these are about self, where we think that we can control ourselves and we are whatever. But now think about other people. If we want to change someone else, how tricky this situation can be. So with this context, with these introductory remarks, or whatever you want to call, please reflect on this, and think about these things. uh, those who are taking the session first time with me, please be vocal. It is all about participation, and try to contribute to the discussions, and things should be fine. Yeah, anything you would want to add to what I have been saying? Any thoughts which come to your mind? What do you think about what I said? If you disagree, please add, and you say, well, you said this, but I don't think like that. I think that this is what it is. So anything which you want to contribute to the discussion, anything you want to add to this, any personal story which is coming to your mind and you would want to share, anything on these, please go ahead and share it. Yes, Alicia.
Sir? Okay, I wanted to add on the point about trust. Okay, so when there is no trust, it is always seen where it builds some sort of psychological barrier. And when this barrier is built, then you will only be focusing on the negatives that can come from the change rather than the positives,
Wow,
right?
beautiful,
And with
beautiful,
that in mind, then it actually just drives you to not going ahead and making that change
beautiful,
because of the
beautiful.
psychological barrier.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for using this terminology, psychological barrier. Now look within how many psychological barriers we have against other people. They can be very close to us, very dear to us, people we love, people we spend our parents, our brothers, sister, children, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, the psychological, the barrier, the one negative thing, and then we are just in that, we are thinking in that negativity, and or someone else has this for you, and then then how to come out of that? Yeah, how to come out of that? That is, we need to understand that by the end of this semester we should have some understanding of that. Not that we will be able to, we will do like this and people will change. No, that is not the point. The point is to understand it as much as possible, see where the loopholes are, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages of different models, theories, and then link it with our own life and bring it into practice. If we have, for example, psychological barrier against someone, I give you this exercise. I invite you to try to drop that. Try to drop that in this moment. See how hard it is. It is very hard. I am saying it and I am thinking, and to be honest, in all fairness, I cannot drop it myself. It will take time, because psychological barrier, emotions are involved. Emotions, yeah, feelings are involved. Someone might have hurt you. Someone might have the, what is that word? Loyal. What is the opposite of loyalty? Disloyalty or something like that. Not, they broke the loyalty with you or something like that, or other things. Yeah, things happen. Loyalty from the boss. Yeah, you are working hard for them, and in this pandemic they let you go. Yeah, so this is the time when they should have been standing with you, but yeah. Yeah, so psychological barriers, very, very hard. Thank you very much, Alicia, and all the friends who have been vocal so far. Please, going forward, even when I'm speaking, just if you have to say something, jump in and say what you have to say. Uh, don't wait for me to stop. It is a communication style. It's not a lecture or anything like that. I want to learn from you, and what the little I know, I want to share that with you. So making sense of change management, yeah, that is what we want to do in this semester. Making sense of change management. It is not saying that managing change. Look at the title of the book. It is not saying that. Uh, it is saying making sense. Yeah, just that. Just making sense of change management. That is all. Yeah. So think about that. Yeah. So please, let's see how we can start this. So take your time to scan through the start looking at the book chapter, start reading, and so on. Uh, Going to go through the things and see how we can together make sense of change based on our own experiences and what the authors have said. And meanwhile you will be watching uh, the videos and stuff like that, which are posted on the website and stuff like that. So let's see what we can do. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going through the initial part of the book, where they are talking about different chapters. uh, they give in the acknowledgement section of the book, I want you to reflect on a couple of lines which the authors have written. There are two authors of this book. in the acknowledgement section, this is what they are saying. They are saying we want to thank each other. Very good. Pay attention to this. Look at this one. Yeah. We do not always see things the same way, and we do not work from an identical set of assumptions about change. So the book is the culmination of much healthy airing of views. Reflect on that. So even in life, even in change management, I think we should have similar type of approach, that when you are trying to change someone, even at a personal level or organizational level or whatever, it does not matter at this stage, especially when we are just starting out our communication. So uh, do you when you are trying to change someone, do you want them to see the things the way you are seeing the thing? What is issue for you is a non-issue for the other person. Yeah. So do you realize that they think differently, and you keep it to that big, without bringing that psychological barrier which our friend mentioned? Very hard. Yeah, very hard. So these things you would need to apply in the real life. These are just, we are just discussing and looking at the book chapter and so on. This is more of a theory. You need to apply that when you are trying to change someone, uh, do you say that why that person cannot see this simple thing the way I am looking at it? But remember, same time the other person is thinking the same for you. They are saying why you cannot look at the thing. Yeah. So in that context, in the acknowledgement section, where the writers, authors have not even started talking about anything about the change, in the acknowledgement section they are writing these lines which we need to really think. We need to read between the lines. I think we do not always see the things the same way, and we do not work from an identical set of assumptions about change. No identical set of assumptions. So when I am talking with you and I bring some point, it is totally possible that you don't agree with that and you have your own point of view. I am okay with that. I think that is healthy, because together we are going to maybe form some consensus and maybe we can reach some conclusion. Maybe. Otherwise, you will have your own way of thinking and I will have my own way of thinking. And that is fine, because you will change. You will manage change in your life. I am going to manage change in my life. I am not aware of the situation which you are going through, or which you have been, or how your boss is and how your family situation is, or whatever. I don't know that. So what I am saying it from my assumptions, my understanding, my life experiences. Yours are totally different, and by you I mean all of the people, even within a family, even father and daughter, or son, or parents, these close blood relationship, even in those, have not you seen that the set of assumptions are totally different? You have to reflect on this. So then what I'm trying to say, that even with small changes, forget about the big ones, even with small changes, don't just assume that other people are thinking with the same set of assumptions. They might speak your own language, they might be from your own ethnicity, all the things can be same. They can be, I said, they can be from your family members, but they would have their own different, because they are experiencing life in a different way. Yeah, you can just manage to a certain extent. Outside of that you can't manage. Even a child which is very protected, how many times a child spent in the school? You can select the school, you can maybe also select the teachers, but can you select their classmates and how they will influence them? So what is in your hand? Yeah, the very interesting questions to reflect on. Too bad that we are doing this wonderful course online. I wanted to see you guys face to face and have some discussion on that, but no problem. This is change. You have to just adjust with this. So the book is culmination of much healthy airing of views. Yeah. So please, you need to read all of the book, of course, and all the things. But I just wanted to highlight this portion. Not that other things are not are not important. In the introductory section, of course, you should read it in your own time. What is this book content about? uh, there are different approaches to change based on what I have said so far. I try to go through them, please. uh, well, some 11 paradox of leadership that hang on the wall of every Lego manager. Yeah, this one. Yeah, look into this. 11 paradoxes of leadership that hang on the wall of every Lego manager. Yeah. So these type of things you must have seen at work, in school, different places you go. They have some type of, some type of good practices, best practices that do these things. Uh, because they understand that if they follow these best practices, it can help in all areas of business, including accepting newness, including accepting change, and so on. Well, you can read them in detail in your own time. So for example, to trust one's staff and to keep an eye on what is happening. Yeah, this is one of the paradox of leadership. Yeah, loyalty. Yeah, good job of planning your own time. Yeah, flexibility with your schedule. These things, and you can link it with the current environment. And even if we were not going through COVID-19, this the role of leader is very important in change management. Because see, if the things which we are going to maybe say in this course, if the leader of your organization, uh, he's trying to work on those things, he's trying to give time and space, and willing to give spend the money, which is it, everything is going there is a cost for everything, financial or non-financial, different types of costs are there. If he's willing to do that, only then these type of change processes are going to be change initiatives are going to be successful. Otherwise, I just told you, and you can run your own search is more than 70% of the IT related projects, change related, they fail. For example, you can look into this this diagram. Three dimensions of leadership. So essentially, it would be good to try to understand, the leadership, that especially in the context of change management, that what are some of the characteristics which should be there in a leader, which can help. But start thinking about this question, because there is a chapter linked with leadership in change management. So when that comes, I would like to ask you this and a related type of question. So start thinking about that. So look at this one: three dimensions of leaders. What are the three dimensions? I'm sure you are familiar with this. Maybe not this model or picture, but as you are looking, there is nothing big in this. Emotions enable people and culture to adapt. Yeah, so emotions. Yeah. So, and think about it, where the emotions are involved, that is the most tricky part in change management. When you are trying to create some change, reflect in your own experiences. Try to remember when some loved ones wanted to bring change in you, or you wanted to bring that some change in them, big or small, doesn't matter. So see how complicated it was, or it could have been more complicated and stuff like that, because you wanted to change, but then you don't want to disappoint the person also, and you want to take time also, and you don't want to lose also. So all those emotions are going, but you want the change also. So why it is hard in close relationships where emotions are involved? Yeah, very hard. On the other hand, if you are not emotionally involved and you don't know much about the person, if you are the boss, how hard it is for you to lay them off, fire them, let them go. How hard it is. You don't know them, you are not emotionally involved, you don't know what is going on in their house and everything. You don't know. Yeah, it's a different, it is provoking different type of emotions. On the other hand, if someone you know, and you know, a lot of people die in the world since we started talking. How many people have died? Just run a search, Google search. A lot of people die every second. Yeah. Are we crying? Are we sad? Are we, what is happening to us? Nothing. Such cold blooded. Yeah, nothing is happening. Why? Because emotions are not there. And then vice versa, God forbid, if emotions are involved and even they get COVID-19, we would want to see what is happening. Yeah, this is so emotion. So that is why they say, don't have relationships in at work, and you have those type of things. Some company, I think a lot of companies have those type of policies, and so emotions. Yeah, so once the leader is more involved with their worker, not in the sense that romantically involved or something, involvement, just involved, like they are caring, they like you, they want you to do well, that type of that type of connection, uh, that is also emotional at some level. So for them to bring change in your situation at work, it might be hard, because remember what change does. Fear of unknown, you guys mentioned that. Uncomfortable, complacency, you guys mentioned that. Recorded that so far, look at this, our friend uh, put in something in the chat, that is a very high number. I hope you guys can look into that number. Is giving us a high number. Yeah, so we are fine with that. Yeah, so think about, so all of that is emotion. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, so we were talking about emotions, interests, same way you can reflect on this. Interests, interest of the leader, interest of the follower, and so on. Outcomes, developing and delivering business outcomes. Yeah, this is very important. Developing and delivering business outcome. All of this initiative of change, all the things which we have been talking about, and the things which I'm sure you are reflecting in your own space, all of change is going to take time and effort and energy and then you have to develop and deliver business outcomes on time delivery. You cannot be late. Yeah, in the business context, you have to be mindful of that. So these are some big challenges which managers have to face, that yes, they want to change, of course, to improve. How they will improve if they don't change? So they want to do that, but change is going to require a lot of time, effort, energy, and in that they want to develop and deliver business outcomes, and in that they have they have their own life, they have their family, friends, weekends, all of those type of things. Yes. So well, now think, how many people are, these people who are highly paid and highly successful in Jamaica? What is the ratio? How many of them are like single and not with someone? Because why? Because they are working 24/7. And why is that? Because they are passionate about their job. They want to do well in the job. They want to bring the company up. They are just very busy. So all of these things consume all of their time. Yeah, and by the time they are done with it, they are just tired. Yeah, and even in their departments, people who are super busy, you would see that with change they are also struggling, because they might be very motivated about the change, their staff is as motivated or not. That is another thing. Work life balance, what about that? you know all these type of things you would want to think about. Very very interesting pointers to reflect and think about. Yeah, so they are for example talking about this. Look into this one: outcomes, uh, developing and delivering clear outcomes, interests, mobilizing influence, authority and power, emotions, enabling people and culture to adapt. Yeah, enabling people and culture. Yeah, so culture is again very important topic for change management. That is why they have a separate chapter on that, and we will see, look into that one once we reach there. Yeah, so that culture, that if the culture is there, which is supportive, caring, accepting that it takes time to change, and while changing and learning new techniques people are going to fail, giving them a chance, all those type of things, that is part of culture. If that enabling environment, look into this, and enabling environment, enabling people is just one part, whole of environment. uh, if that is, they get that enabling environment, maybe then maybe they will get a little part of change, maybe. Yeah, otherwise quite tricky situation. Yeah, so please look into this introductory 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 part in your own time, and try to develop your own understanding of what is change, why it is hard, why do you find it difficult to change. When you ask people why do they find it difficult to change, uh, when you were successful in bringing any type of change, what do you think you did right, uh, how much time it took to bring that change. All those type of questions you need to reflect and think on that. Yes, please do that.